No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Dark, funny, and mind-bending news. PSYOP Radio with Mac White and Smiles Lewis, Sundays at 7 to 9 p.m. Central, only on American Freedom Radio.
This is Terry Cassidy, Project Camelot, WhistleBlower Radio, and we are talking to Benjamin Fulford and Dr. John Waterman. Benjamin, could you pick up on your thought that you were interrupted right when
different groups worked with different plans for world government. There was one group that was centered on the old royal families, including some of the European royal families, and their plan was to have the old money and the old royal families acting as like constitutional guardians, and then the United Nations was supposed to be like a world parliament. And so it would be something like Thailand, where you have a parliament that does the day-to-day running of the country, and then you have in the background the old sort of structure of the kings and all that stuff who don't actively participate, but if there's an emergency, they step in. And this group supported President Kennedy. They gave him a bunch of gold to back his new Kennedy dollars. And Kennedy was assassinated, and the leader of this group, President Sukarno, was also deposed. And other members of the group, like Marcos from the Philippines and the Shah of Iran, were removed from power.
Right.
And the group led by George Bush Sr., who were Nazis, wanted instead the fascist world government. And they've been pushing their agenda ever since, and there's been a group that has been trying to stop them ever since. So this is high-level warfare over control of the financial system. But I think we all, or most of us, agree we don't want a Nazi totalitarian world government, even if we can discuss the details of what alternative arrangements we need to have to live together on this planet in a harmonious manner. But the 9/11 attacks were also directly related to this, because they were told, the people at the Federal Reserve Board, the Nazi faction, were told, hey, you've got a check coming due. You issued this bond. It's come due. It's backed by gold that we gave you. We want you to give the gold back. And if you don't, we're going to put you in jail for fraud. And that first bond that came due was on September 12th, 2001. So obviously what they did was they took the gold and they hid it in California, and they blew up the World Trade Center and the Building 7 to hide the evidence, and they say, hey, if you want to take your gold, you just try, buddy. It was sort of like acting like a thug, not like a proper law-abiding country. And so again, the warfare over control of the world's financial system has continued unabated ever since. And most people living in North America who have to rely on propaganda, corporate media for a lot of their overseas news, learn of things like the oil price suddenly went up, or there's a Lehman shock, or something like that. They don't see the whole picture, or there's an earthquake. But it's
well, Benjamin, I wonder if you might want to touch on the money in the Philippines and the role that Japan plays in that, because I wonder if that is got anything to do with why they might hit Japan at this time.
Well, yeah. No, what's happened is, you see, the gold, the dollar, U.S. dollar is made in different parts of the world. It's never been a U.S. dollar since 1913, and they manufacture it in China, in Japan and Indonesia and other places. And what's happened is the U.S. dollars owned by everybody except the fascist faction are now backed by gold. And nobody has been willing to hand over gold to the Nazi faction. And that's why they've been threatening, say, hey, you got to give us gold, you owe us, buddy, we and so it has a lot to do. The gold has been piled up in several different locations in the Philippines and Indonesia, and I've heard, although I can't confirm, under the ocean in the Bermuda Triangle. And all they do is they have the GPS location of the gold. A lot of it, by the way, in the past few years has been shipped around the world. A bunch of it's in safes in Switzerland. The Saudi family, the oil family, they have a bunch hidden away. So, people around the world have been buying gold and stashing it, and it's all been part of this campaign to replace the fiat-based U.S. dollar with an international gold-based dollar, and then the American people can issue their own currency controlled by the Congress for their own, uses, and they would have their own real U.S. dollar as opposed to a fake international, but or an international dollar called the U.S. dollar, but which hasn't been a U.S. dollar for 100 years.
Okay, we have a very short period of time now. We have 5 minutes or less. Dr. Waterman, you wanted to just announce a couple important people that you're having on your shows, your radio show in the next couple of days. So I'd like to allow you to do that. And then if there's any last-minute comments that you, Ben, would like to make, then let's do that and see if we can put it in that 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I won't take long. I'm going to be interviewing Timothy Good on Thursday, the 17th this month, and that's on argusogradio.org, as we say it in America, not Arkusog Radio. And so that will be at noon Eastern Time, Thursday. And then Thursday the 31st, I will be interviewing Peter Lavenda, and these two events, I think, are going to be what we're going to be talking about is going to be really, really important, I think. We're going to be talking about some influential covert programs that have been hidden up till now. So this is going to be pretty interesting, and it's all a prelude to the April 3rd secret space program event in Amsterdam. So I just thought I might mention that. You can get the information. I'll be posting it at thewatermanfiles.com.
Okay, so Benjamin, thank you, Dr. Waterman. We have to move along very quickly now, even though the music is playing underneath.
Yeah, just tell everybody, that if the U.S. is going to be the next target, and anybody who's in a position to stop one of these people from using those earthquake machines, please do so for the sake of humanity. We've had enough destruction.
Thank you, Benjamin Fulford, for coming on the show and for sharing your views. Very important information, and I really appreciate it. Hope we can do this again sometime soon. And Dr. Waterman, you too, and thank you both for coming on the show today. This is Project Camelot Whistleblower Radio.
No taboo topics. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. Online, all the time, your gateway to the world. AFR. American Freedom